Good morning. It is Thursday. It's Glacier Bay Day. So we got into, well, it's just about 6 o'clock or a little after 6 o'clock. And we got into Glacier Bay at 6. The naturalists are getting on board. They're doing a talk at 7. So this is the beginning of Glacier Bay. Just getting in. It's maybe like 6:30. I think the rangers just got on. They're doing a talk at 7. I'll go listen to that. It's definitely a little bit cooler than it has been. It's still not cold, but cooler. We are moving like so slowly, like barely moving.
Yeah, I lost you. If you forget it's still up there.
I thought only one ship. I thought we were the only ship allowed in. Maybe
Two. There's two a day.
Oh, okay.
But we weren't sure whether at the same time. I thought they had staggered the times or something. I don't know.
I'm going to provide an overview of the schedule today, what to expect, and a little teaser about the Glacier Bay story. There'll be a lot more information about the Glacier Bay story as the day unfolds. In addition to welcoming you to this place as a national park, I want to welcome you to my home. I've lived here, worked here, played here with my family for the last 7 years. And this morning, we came on board your ship. We didn't board your ship yesterday in your port. We didn't come down from a helicopter. We have one of the more interesting commutes in the National Park Service. Did anybody see us board your ship this morning? Okay, a few of you, yeah. So we come out from our park headquarters, the one little developed area in this entire national park. We come out in a small boat that's about as long as this stage. We pull up alongside of your big cruise ship as you enter Glacier Bay. Your ship is kind enough to slow down ever so slightly, and we pull up alongside. Sometimes it's referred to as a controlled collision. I kind of don't like to use the word collision when it comes to boats, but we pull up alongside, press into your big ship. Your ship is kind enough to open up a hatch down near the waterline, and they lower a rope ladder down. And we climb on board to join you for the day. It's the sort of commute you don't need a lot of coffee for. Then we climb on board, and then this afternoon, roughly around 2:30, 3 o'clock, our little boat's going to come pick us up, and we're going to head on out in that same way. So if you missed the process this morning, you can catch it this afternoon. That gives you a little sense of scale between ships of this size and our little boat out there. So this park, it's a vast area, 3.3 million acres, and just to give you a point of reference for that, that's about the size of the state of Connecticut. That's an area with almost no roads, no trails, no cities, towns, or development, other than Bartlett Cove, that little area right down at the bottom where it says park headquarters there. Margerie Glacier is our best chance of witnessing a calving event, where ice falls from the glacier. And it's not just a visual experience, it can be an auditory one as well. That thunderous sound of ice coming off of a glacier. So if you only see it for half the time, you cut your chance of seeing that in half, because it is an incredibly random event. We don't know if it's going to happen A, when it's going to happen B, or how big a piece is going to come down C. So it is truly a natural random event. My recommendation is to have eyes on the glacier during that entire 60-minute period when we're out there. Ranger Colleen, when she's on the bridge of the ship, she will call out wildlife when she sees it, but that gives you a little bit of a sense between what you might see from the ship and what it really is. As a matter of fact, today the park is conducting aerial overflights to assess our sea otter population. I shared a story with a few of you that we've had a remarkable recovery in our sea otter population. The first otters reestablished themselves in Glacier Bay in 1995. There was only 5 otters that came into the bay. When they came into the bay, they entered a bay that was filled with everything they loved to eat. Sea urchins and crabs and clams and mussels. They ate and multiplied. More otters came in. And at this point, we're estimating 7,000 otters in the bay. There are certain locations that are better than others for seeing different animals. These marine mammals, like sea otters and humpback whales, the waters we'll be passing through in the, say, 2 to 3 o'clock time period in the lower bay are some of the richest. So the park story itself is tied up with both science and culture. And that story is one of a giant glacier. Because when your ship made its turn into Glacier Bay this morning, if we had tried to make that same turn just 200 years ago, your ship would have been stopped cold by a towering wall of ice thousands of feet high and over 9 miles wide.
So this is the sanctuary, which is an adults only area. There is an upcharge to it, but you pay for either half day or the full day. And you actually reserve a specific seat, and they have like breakfast and coffees and everything up here for you. Sea and water, all right here. And our seats are right up front there.
Breakfast.
Mom got breakfast. So they have breakfast and then hot chocolate and everything like that. So we're going up Bartlett Inlet, and it's Glacier Bay Day, and it's cold. Everybody, this is probably the coldest it's been the whole time. I guess with the ice and stuff. And
We are just getting to the point where we can see Russell Island off of the front starboard side of the bow. But as we head up the bay, we are actually chasing and will eventually catch up to a receding glacier. A glacier that once filled this entire waterway with ice. Ice that was nearly 4,000 feet thick. If you can imagine with me and go back in time nearly 270 years ago to the year 1750, just a few decades before the French Revolution, this entire bay was trapped in a modern-day ice age and was filled with compacted blue ice. Ice that extended all the way out of the mouth of the bay into the body of water located at the bottom of your maps, labeled Icy Strait. This glacial extent happened at the peak of what researchers call the Little Ice Age. This serpent of ice snaked its way south from its origins in Canada, about 65 miles north. And for many centuries, the glacier slowly advanced, engulfing everything in its path. It pushed and pushed, bulldozing the land in front of it, and pushing the Tlingit people out of their homes. That great glacier pushed forward until it came in contact with the warm, salty waters of the Pacific Ocean. And just like rock salt melts icy roadways, that warm salt water melted back the Great Glacier so rapidly that it would become known as the fastest recorded glacial retreat in human history. Due to this rapid retreat of the glacial ice, almost everything living here in Glacier Bay arrived between the year 1750 and today. That means that this is a very new ecosystem, only around 270 years old. As we travel north into Glacier Bay, you may have noticed some blue lines on your map with a number along them. Well, these numbers are years, and the blue lines mark the location of the face of the Great Glacier at that point in time. The lines essentially map the glacier's rapid retreat. And right now we are actually chasing and will eventually catch up to that receding glacier that once encompassed the bay we now float on. This rapid glacial recession opened up the land to new potential and unexplored habitat.
so we're gonna see this glacier, the Lamplugh Glacier, and then the Margerie Glacier. That's the big one.
After a slow spin at Jaw Point, you will then turn around and then head to the very top of your map, up the Tar Inlet, to sit at the face of the Margerie and Grand Pacific Glaciers. Our estimates put us there around 11 a.m. this morning, and you will then have about an hour of FaceTime with those icy giants before we turn around and sail south down the bay.
I was just looking at this water coming out right here. It looks like a similar sort of demarcation coming out from that glacier, you know what I'm saying? Way into the bay.
Yeah, our river does that too. When after a heavy rain, a lot of the orange mud comes down, and there will be a sharp line right there.
For a long way.
One side is brown and the other for a long way. Eventually it's brown.
We're coming up on the Lamplugh.
Sarah, I specifically asked you to get up and clean that glacier this morning. before we got here.
I'm sorry.
And you did not
I
do a very good job.
didn't get up early
I'm
enough.
going to give you a B-. Here you go.
Routine's over there.
Look at that, isn't that cool? All right, Tony, the face of that glacier was snow that fell how long ago?
Over 200 years, right?
200 years ago.
Wow.
We learned that in the video.
2 centuries for it to come back?
Yes.
Glacial ice?
Two centuries for it to go from way up in the mountains where it fell and to slowly flow down the hill. So that ice fell as snow about the time George Washington was around here. It fell as snow and got compressed.
So do you think this is the
What's that?
Glacier?
I do.
She hasn't said so, but I think it is.
It is, because a minute ago we were at the
Just
Reed
saw
Glacier.
the Reed, yeah. So I would
this
think.
and the way this is tucked around back in behind the land.
Yeah.
Because we're rapidly heading towards the favorite amusement park into Johns Hopkins Institute.
I think I got it. Am I pushing you?
No, I'm just trying to give you one.
Saw
50,000 BTU furnace, I tell her.
this glacier.
Oh my God.
And now we're gonna go up here
Out there.
to see this one.
Here you go, peek at it.
Carla Teak. Jordan Teak.
Yeah, well, I asked the park ranger, like, where do they go?
Other crew I'm interviewing. Jimmy and Susan. Tony. Sheila and Francis over there. I think that waterfall is being fed by that snow cap up there. The glacier, whatever.
Probably so, it's probably winding down. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But Jane, the ones that we saw last night were much bigger, weren't they?
They were much bigger.
Hey, Jade!
Icebergs for many, many days
Here he's coming back
eat the
up, right
weight
there.
they need to survive in these icy cold waters.
Well, there he is.
Look out
There
there.
he is.
There's the icy waterway and maybe see the compact.
Oh,
There's his
yeah.
tail. Bye, Will.
Show us your tail.
Maybe we'll continue to be blessed. Continue looking for harbor seals on icebergs and maybe through the snow caves. You can
Okay, can I post these seals now?
the Johns Hopkins Glacier.
They were on that iceberg right there, but they're sliding in and out.
Okay, well, I looked at that iceberg and I couldn't make it out.
It was far away. I tried to get it in with my camera and I couldn't get it in real good
And then I
either.
wanted to see the whale, so.
The whale was easier to see. It was bigger. I look for big wildlife. The park ranger told me that that's the Norwegian Bliss. She came in about 15 minutes before us. They went to see the Margerie Glacier first, and now we're switching places with them. The decks are pretty full, but there are spots if you're looking for a spot to view everything. So we've seen some sea harbor seals, some sea otters, some harbor seals. I think that's what they're called, harbor seals, sea otters.
Watch what he says.
Everyone's still over here hanging out, waiting to see the Margerie Glacier. Have we arrived yet?
We are close.
I can see it.
I remember as a kid. I see a chunk that big.
Oh, yeah.
That would be spectacular.
Margerie Glacier.
100 feet in the air. One of the large piece caps off. Everything else has worked out for us. The weather, the whales.
We have.
I mean, we have.
Go ahead and see the moose.
Oh, you're gonna get tired.
You'll see those.
You're gonna get tired of counting them.
You think so?
Yeah, you're gonna get tired of counting them. You'll see so many.
I don't want to be here. Here's the cramper sitting out right there.
1 minute, you are going to perform a dance for Hunter. And after that minute, he is going to vote for his favorite, his second, his third, and everyone else gets a point. So if you don't get first, second, or third, stay here so I can give you that point. Here we go. Young man, there's no need to feel time to stay in the pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, there's nothing. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. You can have a good time. You can have a good meal. You're a good singer. You can do whatever you feel. And give birth to a child. Go.
Come on, Jordan. Jordan. So hello, today is our last day on the ship. We haven't vlogged much today. Today was kind of a lazy day. We watched some movies and just hung out. And it's not till this evening that we're entering College Fjord, the other area where we can see some glaciers, that we don't get there till 6. So we'll actually eat dinner before that, and we're in there from 6 to 8 tonight. So tonight's our last dinner night, packed up. Tomorrow's, we head out for a big RV adventure, but still pretty beautiful.
The sun is shining.
Yeah, the sun is out. I have no idea exactly what it is we're looking at right now. College Fjord. That's where we're going tonight. Mom says that a fjord is a narrow body of water surrounded by mountains.
Look at that, those glaciers. It looks like just one little shimmer and it's all coming down. I appreciate you bringing that to me. Oh, sorry.
They got to name it. And so Margerie Glacier was named after Herman's alma mater. One of his friends went to Yale, so obviously the other glacier got named Yale. So what we're actually seeing is an increase in rain. And when you get glaciers that are way high up, that they have their origins high in the mountains, that's probably mostly snow even during the summer. So they're in the fortunate position of being located right in or on a coastal mountain range where they're actually seeing more snow than other places. And as a result, they're accumulating ice in that.
That spot there with that one little white part coming out, that's actually a river flowing out of a cave. So she says. Did you see it on the
right there?
We haven't
I haven't looked, but I can kind of see it on the camera, I think. All these glaciers are named after different colleges. Let's see, does anybody remember what the one dead ahead of us is named?
One is Baylor.
We'll go with that's Baylor.
That's definitely.
What's the one that is kind of dark?
Tomorrow, wasn't it? It doesn't come all the way down.
I don't know. That sounds good.
And the next ones are women's colleges, and then we have
Vassar,
Yale and
Harvard. The big ski slope ones.
Yeah.
This is the other side.
Hey, James,
College Fjord.
That's still crazy. It's the best looking one.
Look at that boy.
You just cannot.
No. That really is pretty. That's been our comment the entire time so far.
And that sun kissing it sure is pretty for pictures.
That mountain looks like it's been painted. The white up on the top of that mountain with the little streaks coming down, it looks like an artist painted.